So in today's video, we're going to be focusing on modulation. Now, you might be thinking like this is something we cover in every video, but we're going to do it slightly differently today. This is something that I picked up from an old Noisia video a long time ago, and it's something that a lot of people kind of overlook doing, but it's a cool technique. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Here we go. So first of all, let's put this down on 0. Let's go for basic shapes, for example. Let's choose like a square wave. Let's have like basic shapes here, sine wave. And let's try and make something with what we've got here, basically. First of all, we get this sound. We could put some unison on this. Okay, so we got a basic sound there, tonal wise. So now, typically, we would start modulating this noise so that we can get some movement in it and some tonality to it. So most people would probably set up a filter, put an LFO on the cutoff and start playing around with this. And we get some classic sounds like that, but this isn't the way we want to do it today. So we're going to remove this. And the whole point of this video is to use the mod wheel on your keyboard for your modulation instead of using the LFOs or the envelopes. So what I mean by this is going to the mod wheel here, which is going to be this wheel down here. So we can then set this mod to the cutoff like we would the LFO. Okay, so we're just using the mod wheel here, and what we can do is modulate everything with this wheel. So we've modulated that. We could add it to, like, for example, the distortion as well. So we could add it to the drive of the distortion as well. We could add it to some equalizer bands as well. So just think the same principles go as to what you would do with your LFOs or your envelopes. But the beauty of this, doing it this way, is we can find nice sweet spots, and we can also play around with different variations of the modulation that we normally can't do when we've got a set LFO speed, etc., or shape. We can do all sorts of shapes and patterns and play around when we're sound designing. So this gives us a lot more freedom to the type of shape that we get to our sound at the end of the process. So this is quite a nice kind of freestyle way of doing it. So once again, we could start adding this to, like, let's go to another band, like for example this one, and let's put this on once again here, for example, and we could put it on the cutoff a little bit as well. We can move this one over here a bit, but this one can come around here, and then this one, we put it on the cutoff as well. Maybe we go the other way slightly, but we'll start the cutoff around here somewhere. And we'll put it on the gain as well, so it goes up a little bit like that. And then we get... Could also put it on the resonance a bit, so the resonance gets a bit tighter. Same thing can go for this one. We can put this on the resonance a bit, become a bit more. We could also change the order of this, so this could go into the EQ, or the distortion, sorry. So we could put the voices on 1 and put the glides on here so that this can then glide. I get a little glide there now. What else can we put this on? There's so many different things we could do with it, to be honest. We could add a little bit of reverb to the sound, for example. So maybe we could just put a little bit of this onto the mix here. So the mix comes up a little bit and we get a bit of reverb on the top end, the high end. Okay, so what else could we put it on? We could start adding some little effects in here as well. So you could add, for example, let's add just an FM, for example, on here. So we could then FM, this one maybe could come to maybe something like that, 19, and we can then FM that from here. So oscillator 3, and we can control this once again. So there's various different things that are really beneficial from doing this. One is we're not always stuck with the same LFO shape or envelope shape. And two is we can start from different places within the mod wheel. We don't always have to start from the same place as well. So we can move the start points around. We can go backwards, we can go forwards. There's lots of different vibes you can get from doing it this way. So I think this is quite a cool way to experiment with making your sounds as well. Use the mod wheels, draw in some automation, or just play with your mod wheel and see what different sounds you get from just doing that, because just using the typical what everyone else does using the LFOs and envelopes as modulators is cool, and obviously it's a really common way of doing things, but why don't we just think outside the box a little bit and just use the mod wheel occasionally and freestyle it and make it more natural and more human. And there's, as I mentioned, a few different benefits from doing it this way as well, which could give you some different results. So have a play with this idea, guys, and see what you think. Let me know what you think about this. See if it gives you any good results. I think it's a really cool way of doing things. It was years ago that I saw this on a Noisia video, and they were using Massive, and they were just using the mod wheel to create all their modulations. And they also mentioned the same things, of how like more you can kind of create through doing it this way than just setting one set modulator. You basically can freestyle your modulation, which is super cool. So I hope this was useful for you guys. Obviously, it's a very basic sound. We could make some pretty crazy sounds like this as well. So play around, modulate different things, see what you guys can come up with, and have fun with it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.